Aloha and good morning. This is Zane Schweitzwer here for the Stand Up World Tour morning show. Well, we're here on a lay day with Kai Lenny. Alright, and we're here in front, Sunset Beach, watching the conditions out there. It's a little sloppy today. Probably a good call. They called it off to wait for the next swell coming in on Wednesday. Anyway, I'm just going to ask you a few questions, Kai. You know, first off, you're two-time world champion of this event. How was it for you? What did it feel like to be two-time world champion? Do you have stress in your shoulders coming into this event?
To be honest, you know, I think because I've won this event in particular 2 times, I don't feel any stress whatsoever, because it's like, oh, I've won it 2 times, and if I can continue to keep winning it, it'd be awesome. You know, last year I got second and lost out to Bonga, and you know, Bonga bowed out early, which was, I think, a surprising turn of events. So, I don't know. I'm just really stoked to be surfing Sunset with 3 other guys. I mean, think about it, when do you get 3 other guys out at perfect sunset? And really stoked we're actually waiting for the conditions to get good, because waves came down a lot, but as you can tell, you know, very messy. So you might only be able to get 1 decent turn in right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. And this is the 4th year, the Sunset Beach Pro. We've been pretty blessed with conditions the last few years and this year. Tell us a little bit about, you know, the conditions the last few years and the massive waves.
It is just so unbelievable how lucky this event is and how lucky we get every year. Because, I mean, think about it. There hasn't been 1 year where the waves haven't been, you know, they haven't been 12, 15 feet. Like, we've had it every single year, which is quite unbelievable, because you look at most events that are here, and you might get 1 year really good and 1 year not so good. So I think we're just very fortunate and blessed on that side of things. And you know, what can you say? I think the whole tour has pretty good karma going. It's really been good for the sport, just because it's allowed people to take up another kind of ocean avenue and experience the water a different way. And I think you'd agree with me that that stand-up is it just makes people happy and stoked. So if we can continue touring around and getting people psyched to do what we love to do, then I think we'll continue to get good conditions. I mean, every year we've had some of the best conditions anybody would have ever expected at these places.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we are truly blessed with the Stand Up World Tour, and it is amazing to be a part of such a new sport that's growing like rapidly. And everyone who's doing it is stoked, whether you're a beginner or an avid ocean athlete doing it all the time. But out here at Sunset Beach, you know, we have really tricky conditions, and on a stand-up board we're able to, you know, get familiar with the wave a little bit and really actually catch these big waves that are breaking, feathering on the outside. You know, do we have like a little bit of an advantage than the surfers when there's wind? And
I feel like I get way more waves out here at Sunset in particular than, you know, stand paddling than shortboarding, because stand-up you can go from point A to point B twice as fast as if you're on a shortboard, and you can see waves coming from, you know, another, you know, maybe half a mile out to sea. So in a way you kind of do have an advantage, and because we have a paddle as well, I think people don't realize that the paddle helps you get into the wave, of course, and move, but when you get on a wave, you have a, you know, a 9-foot board, 8-foot board, it's much easier to turn with a paddle in your hand, because it's like having, you know, a crutch or something you can really lean on, and that is like an extension of yourself. So I sometimes see guys riding out here on a stand-up board probably better than most guys would on maybe a short board, when it's bigger at least, because they're just able to sink in that thicker rail a little bit more, and
and they're able to position themselves in a good spot. And what Kai Lenny is touching up on out here, if you've been watching on the Stand Up World Tour live feed the last 2 days here for the Sunset Beach Pro, you might have noticed how much water is moving out there, and how much different peaks there are out there. And I've personally done shortboard surfing competitions out here a few times on the NSSA surfing contest, and Kai, I believe you've surfed out here many times as well. It is tricky, especially being low to the water. Even on a stand-up board it's tricky, but there is a little bit more of an advantage when you're standing up. You know, we're able to see where they're coming, whether they're coming from the west peak or up the backyard's north peak, and we're able to position ourselves a little earlier maybe.
Yeah, I think what makes this wave one of the best waves in the world is not necessarily how perfect the wave is, but the fact that there's so much going on alongside with, you know, basically you have so much going on in terms of peaks, and you're not only concerned about riding the wave, you're concerned about catching the right one, because you might not catch the right one. You know, there might be 10 that go through that aren't good, and then there might be one that might be the best wave in the world at that moment in time.
Definitely.
And
like,
so,
if you're lucky, you'll find that gem out of the 10 waves that come in.
Yeah, and so going further with that, I think just the accomplishment of finding that wave makes it the best wave in the world, because you find it and you're just so stoked on just one wave, versus you go into another spot, maybe somewhere else, you know, you get 50 perfect waves, but they're all the same 50 perfect waves. And sometimes when you have to seek stuff out,
Definitely.
I think like everybody could understand, it's makes it a lot more, yes, valuable to yourself.
Definitely, it makes it a privilege to be able to feel, you know, like you hunted down the wave and you put yourself in the right position to catch it.
Yeah.
And speaking about good waves and gems, we're going to take you to a quick commercial where we're going to show you the highlights from day 2, and there were some really good gems on that day. So stay tuned, we'll be right back at you.
Aloha and welcome to day 2 of the Sunset Beach Pro. So the waves were absolutely pumping today here for the Sunset Beach Pro day 2. We saw some spectacular action throughout the day. Early standouts, Bo Nixon from Australia scoring some incredible rides, picking off the big sets and putting together some incredible turns. Also standing out, like yesterday, Kala Alexander really using his local knowledge to pick off the best waves and putting together some incredible drops. This year is also a return of Aaron Napoleon, always a standout here at Sunset Beach. This year was no different. Took a couple of heats to warm up, but in his last heat of the day, he performed incredibly to advance through to round 4. As if it was a climax to the end of the day, we had 2-time world champion Kai Lenny come up against Justin Holland and Dave Muir from Australia. It was a showdown to end all showdowns as Kai put together some critical surfing, and Justin Holland, having been on fine form all day, had to submit to Dave Muir, the powerhouse who scored an amazing wave towards the dying minutes of the heat, winning the heat ahead of Kai Lenny. So that's it for today. Another beautiful day here at Sunset Beach. Thank you for joining us for this live broadcast. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning bright and early as we look for an 8 o'clock start right here at Sunset Beach. Aloha.
Aloha and welcome back to the morning show presented by Turtle Bay and the Stand Up World Tour. How'd you guys like the action for the highlights? And so back at it, I mean, that last little clip that you might have noticed, that was Kai Lenny's heat with Dave Muir and Justin Holland. Kai, take us through that heat and I guess the different sizes of body weight and proportion with the waves out there.
Well, you could tell that was a pretty stacked heat. You know, you had Justin Holland from Australia, who is known as the frother, and that's because he's just psyching the whole time and wanting to get the best wave and just kind of a competitive fiend. Then you have another guy, Dave Muir, who's basically like a linebacker, someone you wouldn't want to get in front of or ever have any troubles with. So that was a pretty cool heat. You know, the thing with Sunset, it's pretty interesting. That was like, you know, after a rapid charge heat, so we had 3 people in the water versus 4, and it kind of made it a little bit more space out there, because you could have like 8 guys out there and never really be standing next to somebody because there's so much going on. And I remember Dave getting a couple bombs, which got him some super high scores. I got a couple good waves. I didn't see Justin get many just because I was either getting flogged on the inside or was trying to get my way back out.
It's hard to keep a close eye on the competitors out there as much as you want to.
I'd say your biggest competition out here is for sure the wave. Like, you may be competing against 3 other people, but if your competitive focus isn't in direct line with the wave, then you're probably gonna lose, because the wave will, you know, always smash you when you're not looking. You know, that's what's interesting about this wave, is like certain waves in the world, you feel like some waves have eyes, and it's nothing worse than when you feel like somebody's like watching you, but you don't know where or who it is. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, there you go, Kai Lenny's perspective, but that's very true. I mean, some waves have a certain vibe to them, where, especially
an aura.
Like Sunset, where you need to spend a lot of time on the ocean with this wave to really be familiar with it. And I think it comes to play where the locals have a very big advantage out here. We had a lot of guys, you know, surfers, Ikaika Kalama, Kala Alexander, Hikoa Awai, Bonga Perkins, all these guys that,
you know, what's pretty funny
last 2 days.
Is a fun little fact, is the first time I ever surfed Sunset, was my first heat in the first event ever here.
No way.
I never surfed here. I've always seen it, but every time I was on the North Shore, I'd always go surf somewhere else. But it was just funny that was the first place, and I think for me, Sunset reminded me a lot of Maui, because here it's a little more exposed to the wind than further down the coast, and being that, you know, it's like, it kind of gave me a little sense of home when I was getting blasted around in the wind, because that year in particular was a lot windier than the last two.
Oh yeah, coming from Maui, this is like Maui glass for us.
Oh yeah, it's 30 knots off the back. That's like perfect glassy day on Maui.
Oh yeah, and so we're going to take. We're going to take a commercial break to Matt Becker, actually. And Matt Becker's a young surfer from Santa Barbara. Really big ripper coming up.
He's been charging Mavericks right now.
Yeah,
so.
he's got some cojones for sure. He's been charging some big surf and doing really well here at the Sunset Beach Pro. So we'll be right back at you. Stay tuned.
Come.
Such bad.
Kai Lenny has proved himself to be one of the most versatile athletes in the world. Turtle Bay has become his home away from home for good reason.
This place is just so amazing, Turtle Bay, and had such a good time on the North Shore, and it's always, you know, been very gracious and kind towards me, and I've always gotten some amazing waves and have met a lot of amazing people, and, you know, to finish another epic day the way, you know, with the sunset like that and some good waves, kind of hard to beat.
Aloha and welcome back. I'm sitting here with Matt Becker, Santa Barbara local boy, big wave charger, comfortable in all the conditions that the ocean has to offer. Matt Becker, what's up? How you feeling here for the Sunset Beach Pro?
It's good, you know, like we were just talking about, this is my third year doing this event, and really this is the first year I've kind of figured out how to surf the wave, because it's definitely, you know, it is one of the most difficult spots to surf anywhere I've ever been to. I mean, you know, and so yeah, it's been really, I can't believe we had 4 years of just epic conditions. I mean, the other day was some of the best waves I've ever gotten at Sunset for sure, and so yeah, stoked to be here.
Yeah, I mean, how insane is it to surf such a world-class wave with just, you know, 3 other of your, your friends out in the water, just like, it's kind of hard to stay serious in competition mode.
Fully, so like, I remember I'm sitting out the back and I'm like, oh my god, I'm sifting through set waves at 10 to 12 foot sunset. Like, normally out there with 40 other guys, you know, you're just out there solo.
Yeah, and the expression I saw, I think, from yesterday that I noticed was, Uncle Aaron Napoleon comes in and went up and like, say, what's up, how was it? He's like, whoa. All the other guys in here were kind of scared. I felt like I was surfing all by myself out there. I was like, that is epic. Sunset Beach to ourselves, having a good time. It's amazing to be blessed with such good waves. I mean,
I know. It's 4 years in a row, man. It's unbelievable.
Some of the locals are saying the last few days of competition we had here for the 2013 leg Sunset Beach Pro were some of the best waves they've seen. I mean, really, like all year. So it's
definitely seems like February is the time to be here, you know, February into January, you know. I mean, well, I guess that, you know, it has been, because every year they pick the dates, it's freaking good.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of good conditions out there, to us, when we're talking good, I don't know if you've seen the live webcast the last few days, but we've had some solid 8 to 12 foot Hawaiian style surf. Today and yesterday we had a little bit of a lay day because the conditions were a little bit messy. We had the swell changing directions a bit, and the wind was pretty strong. A bit victory at sea out there.
Oh, for sure, you know, and I like Well, that's why it was a good day for Wyman short break.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, well, how about that? Well, that was fun.
That was fun. That was, you know, like, it's fun until, like, you're slipping down the face and it feels like somebody just open fisted just slapped you know what I mean?
Yeah, we were at Wyman short break yesterday with Kai and Connor and Maddie and just all the boys, Chucky P, and we were just getting slammed in the shore break. It was good. So we're enjoying our little lay day as the ocean settles down. We're looking like maybe Wednesday we'll be back into it.
That's what everyone's saying, you know. It looks like hopefully we get another peak in the swell. It's kind of this funny, we've been having this funny storm track with these real strong trades, which is the reason everyone's been going body surfing. But yeah, hopefully, what's today, Monday? Hopefully day after tomorrow should be good.
Yeah, totally. And before we cut to another commercial, Matt, tell all the viewers about the big waves and I guess the type of surfer and athlete you have to be to handle these conditions, and you have to be connected with the ocean.
Absolutely.
Before you even step into the water into conditions like these.
You know, it's funny, like I remember it really does, it requires a lot of patience, you know, and it's funny, I remember I was listening to Kai talk about earlier how you not only because you can't see them, but you really can't focus on the other competitors, and I found that to be the same true to me, you know, like if I just focus on the wave, the competition will take care of itself, because I mean the best competitors are out there, the guys getting the best waves, not necessarily jockeying like you're at 3 Foot Sunset.
Totally.
You know? But it, you know, like you look at all the guys that are good out here, they're comfortable with being a big surf, they're excellent watermen, and you know, being physically fit and just being trained up and comfortable plays a huge part of it.
Yeah, totally, totally. Well, Matt, I mean, hopefully we'll see you on the live feed for everyone staying tuned at home.
Yeah.
You've been ripping out here at Sunset. I mean, you are looking really comfortable with your equipment. Maybe say a quick shout out to your sponsors before we cut to a commercial.
Absolutely. I think my number 1 and 2 sponsors, Mom and Dad, first of all. But you know, I appreciate all the support. Surf Tech, stand-up paddleboards, Quick Blade paddles, Reef sandals, Maui Gym, Pro Light. Virtua, Sun Care, you know, I think you all guys help me get out here and get some fun waves. So.
Oh yeah, well, honored to be out here surfing with you, brother Matt. This is my good boy right here, cruising with him every time I come to California.
Absolutely.
He's always staying in my house in Maui. All right, we're gonna cut to a commercial. Stay tuned. We'll be back with Kai Lenny here in a moment.
Kai Lenny has proved himself to be one of the most versatile athletes in the world. Turtle Bay has become his home away from home for good reason.
This place is just so amazing, Turtle Bay, and had such a good time on the North Shore, and it's always, you know, been very gracious and kind towards me, and I've always gotten some amazing waves and have met a lot of amazing people, and you know, to finish another epic day the way, you know, with the sunset like that and some good waves, kind of hard to beat.
Thanks so much for tuning in to the Stand Up World Tour morning show, where we're keeping you entertained here on our lay days. And Kai Lenny, much mahalos for coming out.
Right on, subject can come on.
Knowledgeable input on Sunset Beach. Matt Becker. Remember, stay tuned for all of our updates on our Facebook page, Stand Up World Tour. You can also go to standupworldtour.com. Click the link at the top of the page for the Sunset Beach Pro live feed. And we're going to be keeping you up to date with all the action going on. Aloha. Mahalos for tuning in. Catch you next time.
Thank you guys.